If you ever find yourself alone in the Amazon after dark, turn back. I didn't, and it's a decision I'll regret for the rest of my life. A few years ago, I was working on a forest management project deep in the Brazilian Amazon, in the state of Roraima. Our team was staying at a remote camp in the middle of the forest. One night I had to send an urgent work message. There was just one problem. Our camp had no cell service. The only signal was at the company's main camp, about 6 miles away. It was already late, but I didn't have much of a choice. I grabbed the team's ATV and started down the dirt road. Everything was normal, until it wasn't. About halfway there, the engine died. I tried to restart it. Again and again. Nothing. The ATV was done. For a moment, I considered turning back. Then I looked at the time. The message couldn't wait. So I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and started walking. The beam was weak, barely enough to keep me on the road. Beyond that tiny circle of light, there was only darkness, the kind of darkness you only find deep inside the Amazon. At first, my biggest fear was running into a jaguar. But after a few minutes, something else came to mind. Earlier that week, a few of the older workers had warned me about that stretch of road. They had lived in the region for decades. Whenever the conversation drifted toward that place, their expressions changed. No one liked talking about it. They only said one thing: don't walk there alone at night. I never asked why. I assumed it was another local legend. Then, the road curved to the right. A small wooden bridge crossed a narrow stream. The moment I saw that bridge, I knew exactly where I was. Beyond it, hidden among the trees, was an abandoned cemetery. It belonged to an old Brazil nut harvesting village that had disappeared decades earlier. The forest suddenly felt different, not quieter, just wrong. Then I heard it, a scream, long, high-pitched, almost hysterical. It came from somewhere inside the forest, so close. It felt like whatever made that sound was walking beside me. I froze. My heart was pounding. Could it have been an animal? A bird? I had spent enough time in the Amazon to recognize most sounds. This wasn't one of them. It sounded like a terrified child. I wanted to run, but I couldn't. The road was too dangerous in complete darkness, so I forced myself to keep walking. Slowly, every step felt heavier than the last. Then, the scream came again, this time from somewhere ahead of me. Exactly where the cemetery was, I heard something falling near me. I pointed my flashlight in every direction, but I could barely see the trees closest to me. I thought it would be better to go back to the camp and give up on passing by the cemetery, but I had already walked about 2 kilometers and was completely exposed in the forest. A jaguar could attack me at any moment. Soon, I reached the curve that led to the bridge. The cemetery was only a few meters away. I stared carefully in the direction of the cemetery. Suddenly, a light appeared, as if a candle had been lit. I stopped immediately. It wasn't a firefly, because several of them were flying between the trees. That light was different. It was intense and yellowish. It wasn't a flashlight either, and it wasn't a fire, because the glow was far too small to be a campfire. It looked like a candle burning in the middle of nowhere. Then the light disappeared, and the piercing scream echoed so loudly that I started praying. It was when I finally found myself directly in front of the cemetery. I felt chills from head to toe, whispering prayers with my hands trembling. Then I heard footsteps. I shined my flashlight ahead. I could see some gravestones and crosses when I noticed something that looked like a shadow hiding behind a tree. I froze. The piercing scream came again, and this time, it sounded like it was right in the middle of the cemetery. That was when I decided to run. Even in the darkness, the scream filled the forest once again. It sounded like it was still coming from inside the cemetery. I tripped over a hole in the trail and almost fell. Then I heard something like the sound of hooves behind me, and I thought it was a jaguar coming after me. I stopped, shined my flashlight in every direction, and screamed. After my scream, the forest came alive. Birds, animals I couldn't identify, insects, frogs, everything turned into a sinister symphony. A huge branch fell somewhere in the darkness, creating an impact that felt like an earthquake. I ran until I finally saw the lights of the farm headquarters. When I arrived, everyone immediately noticed how terrified I was. They asked what had happened, and I told them about the quad bike and that I had passed by the cemetery. The oldest man there, who had lived in the village back when the area was used for Brazil nut extraction, said that crossing that path alone was extremely dangerous. Many people had been attacked there, and they had never been able to say what had attacked them.